So I've had this camera now for about 6 weeks and I have done so many different things. We've filmed in so many different places and I just wanted to basically go through what I think about the camera now that I've had it long enough to, one, know how it works and basically give my own impressions of what I think of it. Now I'm going to start off straight from the bat and say that this is a really, really good camera. I bought the creator combo, so basically I got all of the bits that you probably need to actually get on and go out and film. Now I don't know if you're like me, this is what I used to use before. Most of my filming was done using a mobile phone and actually perfectly fine, to be honest with you. Didn't really have a problem with it until you get to things like stabilization and you actually want to get a decent bit of sound and all those kind of things, and then you start adding things onto it. I wanted something that I could use that was kind of idiot proof. In other words, I can just literally switch it on, film and record and document the things that I do with my family when we sort of go off and do little adventures and stuff like that. Now I did my research and there was quite a few cameras that were around, some expensive, you know, some not so expensive, but the Osmo Pocket 3 camera was the one that stood out. It does exactly what I need it to do, and I don't want to overcomplicate it because obviously there are lots of YouTube videos out there where they talk about the post editing and all the things that you do once you've got your recording and once you've loaded it up onto your laptop or your PC or whatever, and you're starting to do the editing. Now, I don't do all of that, so obviously my videos are not going to be absolutely brilliant, but to be honest with you, I don't need to do that, if that makes sense. I just need to be able to record, film, get good sound. I know that the sound and visuals are the two most important things. Obviously, you've got to have content and it's got to be good. And when you're first starting out, one of the first things they say to you is, the best camera you've got is the one you should use. If you want to up the level though, you want to basically improve, and how to do that is going to be with what you've got. So if you can improve the sound, use a mic or use a camera that's got really, really good imagery and is able to stabilize, all those kind of things, you're onto a winner. Now with this Pocket 3, the stabilization is fantastic. And in fact, that's one of the things that sold it to me was I want to be able to have good sound, good visuals. Look, as you can see at the moment, it's tracking me. It does what I need it to do. That tracking feature I think is brilliant because once you put it onto a selfie stick and then you can do loads of shots where you're filming yourself walking around and this, that and the other, and it really, really works. And for me, that was one of the selling points to me. I wanted to have a camera that I would be able to use if I was just solely filming or if I was out with family and friends. The idea that I can put the camera somewhere and it will just basically trace. I mean, I love that. That is fantastic. But that also, believe it or not, is one of the things that you have to be the most careful of. That gimbal, obviously it moves a lot, and in the recording you can see it's moving left, moving right, and sometimes I feel like I've got to keep my head still so I don't move because I don't want to damage the gimbal. It comes with a case. I mean, this case is really good. Houses the mic, you can put that in the top end of it and that looks really good. You've got the lens piece as well, so that it holds that as well, which is really good. I love that. And it's got the black pro mist filter as well, which is really, really cool. But I found that this was just a little bit too cumbersome. And I don't know, depending on, in the name, it's the Pocket. This isn't fitting in your pocket. I know the videos show that it's nicely fits into the pocket, but when you're filming, you're carrying other things. You are going to be carrying other things. It could be your charger, it could be a selfie stick, it could be anything. You'll have a bag, probably. And so this, as much as I love it, didn't really work for me. What I did get in the end was I went onto Temu of all places and I found this. This case is perfect. It really, really is. It sits on the top of the camera and just closes in place. That bit goes over the screen and it's just really ideal. And it makes the whole size of the camera, the space that it takes up, it just, it halved the space because, well, look, you can see the difference. And it's still it protects the gimbal and it still protects the camera and you still feel safe with it. I got the Ulanzi adapter and it basically just sits on anything really. I mean, you just screw it into, you know, like for me, this is on the tripod, but if you buy quite a few of these, then whatever tripod or whatever you're using, so it might be a mount for your bike, or it could be another selfie stick, or you see, for myself, I've got, at the moment, my camera's on the selfie stick. I've got this one for when I'm doing things like, oh, I'm in a cafe or something like that, and I don't want to have a really long camera sticking up in the air. I literally just put that on there, and I can just basically put this goes on the base of the camera, and that houses onto there. It's a no-brainer really. It's really, really easy to use. You can just take it off, flip it on, flip it off. It's really, really good. And I've got quite a few of these. So as I said, I've got some on tripods. I've got it on mounts for bikes. I've got other bits and bobs. And because I also use another camera in the Insta360, I can literally take my Insta360 off, do a B-roll for, like, you know, if I'm filming outside, and I can just basically flick this back on, and then I've got I'm straight away filming again. It's really, really good. In terms of usage, you're never going to go wrong with this camera. The battery life on it is amazing. You could film all day long and you won't run out. There's a small amount on the camera, and then you've got like the, you know, this is kind of the creator combo, the extra battery. And from what I understand, this, when you plug it into the camera, charges the battery that is in the camera. So this will drain out first for your battery on the camera will run out. And that just makes life so much easier for you, because then you haven't got to worry about, oh, am I going to have, you know, to charge it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I would still suggest carrying a portable charger, which I do, but that's partly because I also carry my Insta360 camera at the same time. I need to be able to charge as I'm on the go, and it really works. It's one of those cameras that I would probably say takes you from that level into, you know, almost professional level. I mean, I'm not a professional cameraman, but some of the videos that I've already filmed, I could never have done that on my mobile phone. Just was never good enough to do that. And the editing side of it, that takes it to a whole new level. If I was that bothered, or if I knew what I was doing, then probably I would be even making even more amazing videos, because, you know, the editing side of it, you can add LUTs, I think they're called, and you can go into the app and you can do lots of different things to improve and enhance the quality of the video. For myself though, I'm a point and shoot guy. I just want to open up the camera, start filming, documenting, and I'm not that fussed about it. In that, you know, regard, this camera is just perfect. It really, really is perfect. And I haven't bought a camera that's sort of been that good in a very long time. I don't, you know, I'm talking years and years and years of filming. I've always relied on mobile phones, to be honest with you. I've always looked at those, you know, more expensive cameras have kind of been a little bit too cumbersome for me. I didn't really want to be carrying that kind of equipment where I've got, you know, cameras and lenses and all these kind of things. It just, to me, seemed like a bit of overkill. Whereby with this Pocket 3 camera, you just haven't got to worry about any of that. You literally take it out of, you know, if you're going to use this case or use this one, you just pull it out of your pocket and you start filming. The mic is fantastic, and the sound, I think, from what I can gather, is quite clear. I've filmed outside, I've filmed indoors, I've filmed my screaming kids. It just does everything that you need it to do, and it does it so seamlessly and easy. The only problem I think I found, and it's not something that I've really heard a lot of people talk about, to be honest with you, was the compatibility with my Google phone. So the app would not load onto my phone. And I didn't realize that when I bought it. When I bought the camera, I thought, oh, this is perfect. I just basically plug it in and it will work a dream. And that just did not materialize. I had to end up using an older mobile phone to be able to put the app on it, because again, if you use the app, you have remote control, you can do lots of different things. It's just a really, really, really good camera. I wish I'd known about the compatibility with the Google phone. I've got the Pixel 7, I can't remember now, one of the Pixel phones, and when I tried to put the app on it, it just didn't work. Gutted, yes, definitely gutted about that. But apart from that, if you're really careful, and I would imagine that if you're going to spend the amount of money that you know, in whatever country you're in, you've spent to buy the Pocket 3, you're going to do your very best to look after it. I am doing my very best to try and make sure that I protect the gimbal, because I know how fragile it could be. I did take out the insurance when I bought the camera so that I can, you know, get a replacement, but obviously I don't want it to break, and I'm going to try my very best to keep it going for as long as I can, because I don't want it to break at all. It is a really, really good camera. It's definitely something that over the last 6 weeks has changed the way in which I do vlogging, because up until then I kind of was like, I don't want this. I have got really bad shaky hand, and if you're like me, trying to just hold a camera still, my hands are shaking, and it's not a good look. And I wanted to sort of take that away. This camera, having the gimbal in the way it is, means that that's one less thing that I have to worry about, and it gives me that stabilization that it's just revolutionized the way in which I film. But also, and I think this is also quite interesting, it's because now that I have that quality, it's actually encouraged me to do more filming, which is quite, for me, is quite exciting. This is a whole new venture for me, being able to do vlogs and actually just, you know, talking head. To me, it's just really, really good to be able to do it and know that it is a really, really good camera. And would I encourage you to buy it? 100%. If you just want something that's gonna work, you're gonna be able to just take shots, do your video, perfect. I wouldn't use it for cameras. Shots though, you can do, but it isn't perfect. It's not the perfect camera. It's a good camera, but it's not a perfect camera. Video, fantastic. Camera shots, probably not so good. And for me, I just still use my phone, because I think that I can still get really good shots from my phone. And if you use multiple different cameras, it doesn't matter. But just for general vlogging, I can guarantee you right now that if you buy the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera, you 100% will not be disappointed. It really, really is a good camera. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you like what I've said and you think it's got some relevance, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up for me, because it obviously helps my channel to grow. Got some other videos that I've already put on there, so if you like them, please, you know, check them out. And yeah, thanks very much for listening. That was my review of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera. I've had it now just over 6 weeks, and for me, it is definitely the best camera I've ever owned for vlogging, and definitely a sort of camera that I'll probably only ever use now because they're that good. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for listening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.